What if one day the oxygen on Earth suddenly vanished? Just for 30 seconds. Would it even matter? And more importantly, would we survive it? This is when reality breaks. And here's what would happen if Earth lost its oxygen for 30 seconds. In those first few seconds, you would not even realize you are suffocating. Your lungs do not actually scream for oxygen. They scream because of CO2 buildup. As long as you are not holding your breath, you would feel normal for about 5 seconds. But while your body is playing catch-up, the world around you is literally screaming. Look at the sky. It is not blue anymore. It is pitch black. To put it in perspective, the blue color we see is caused by sunlight bouncing off oxygen particles in the air. Without them, there is nothing for the light to hit. The sun would look like a cold, bright spotlight in a void of total darkness. If you are at the beach, do not expect to enjoy the view. You would be hit with an instant, blistering sunburn. The ozone layer, our only shield against deadly UV radiation, is made of O3. That is 3 oxygen atoms. Without it, the atmosphere becomes a giant tanning bed, set to incinerate. But the heat is the least of your worries. Listen closely, or try to. You would likely hear a sickening pop. That is your inner ear exploding. Oxygen makes up 21% of our air pressure. Losing it instantly is like being teleported from sea level to the top of a 2,000-meter mountain in a millisecond. Your eardrums cannot equalize that fast. They would simply burst. Now look at the road. Every car that is not electric just died. Internal combustion engines work by mixing fuel with oxygen. Without that spark, millions of cars would instantly stall. Planes would stop their engines mid-flight, becoming multi-ton gliders, falling from the dark sky. You might think you are safe if you are standing still, but look down. Is the ground under you concrete? Because if it is, you are about to fall. Oxygen is the secret binding agent that holds concrete together. Without it, the Hoover Dam, the Pantheon, and your own home would lose their structural integrity and turn into a fine, gray dust. Even the metal in your hand, your phone, your keys, would behave strangely. Without a layer of oxidation to keep them separate, any 2 pieces of untreated metal that touch would instantly cold weld together. They would become one solid piece of junk. But we have not even reached the 30-second mark yet. And this is where things get truly terrifying. Imagine squeezing a dry sponge until it crumbles. That is the Earth's crust. About 45% of the ground you walk on is made of oxygen. If that disappeared, the very floor of the world would lose its grip. The crust would vanish, and the ground beneath your feet would turn into a literal void. You, the crumbling buildings, and the stalled cars would begin a 30-second freefall into the Earth's mantle. By the time 30 seconds are up, the oxygen might come back. But there would be nothing left to save. The world as you know it would be a heap of dust and twisted metal floating in a dark, silent atmosphere. We take for granted that our world stays together because of things we cannot even see. But oxygen is not the only invisible force holding our reality together. Imagine you are screaming as you fall into that void, but no one can hear you. Not because they are not listening, but because the very concept of noise has been erased. What if the world went completely silent? No birds, no engines, no voices, just a terrifying, absolute void of sound. How long could your sanity last in a world that has gone mute? Well, that is another reality break to uncover. Subscribe because we are definitely going there soon.